God have been telling me to make this video probably like a week now. But I kept having other things to do, postponing God and, not listening, trying to, reconcile. Oh, well, I can't take it right now. I don't want to talk about it right now because I need to write everything down. I need to, practice it. I need to do some, I need to go online and get some stats and do some research on the topic. And, I know you told me to do this, God, but I have to make sure that what I'm saying is going to make sense and I can back up what I'm saying um, with numbers. But I feel like I can't even just keep waiting like this. Because when it's on your heart, it's on your heart. And honestly, it's no better. It's no better person to talk about a topic that's already experienced it, that's already went through it, okay? So, I'm putting myself out here because believe it or not, I feel like that was a big reason as to why I did not want to do it was because I was, too worried about like how it would be viewed or if it would make sense what I'm saying. So this month is done my fingernails, like I said, and then that was another thing. My hair not done. Nails not done. I gotta wait until I'm camera ready to be putting videos up. But no, the truth is when it's on your heart, especially if God tells you to do it, you have a relationship with Him, you need to do it. So this month, I don't know if you guys might know, but it is domestic violence month. I thought I was okay with doing one little poem, putting it out there, but my experiences and letting it go. But no. Because see, a lot of people in my situation, they don't even know that it's domestic violence. That's the sad part. You feel me? That these people don't even know that what they're going through is domestic violence. And the reason why I say that is because I didn't know. I had no clue. No clue. No clue at all that what I was going through was abuse. Because people, society like to put names on stuff and make stuff more than what it is and stuff. But, and then I've always been taught in my life and to be strong, my mom, my grandmas, my aunties, cousins, everyone, friends, I'm a down south girl and I've always been told to, dwell about it, cry about it for a second, don't dwell in it for too long. You got literally a minute to dwell in it. And by a minute, my mom and aunties and cousins and friends meant you got today. You got today to be upset about you going through this. And then after this one day, you need to get back to it. Get back to the world. Get back to living. Get back to parenting. Get back to putting on this strong front. Not saying I ain't strong. I'm the strongest person that I know. And the reason why is because I could have chose to give up a long time ago. You feel me? But I didn't. I could have chose the easy way out. I could have gave my kids up. I could have done drugs. I could have giving my kids away. I could have killed myself. I could have done a whole lot of stuff. with everything that I've been through in the past 8 years. But strong is when you get through it, no matter what. Even if you're getting through it with tears, you getting through it still broken, still hurting, you getting through it. And you get up and you choose to try another day. That's strong to me. Regardless if you cried about it or not. Strong to me is when you get up and you choose to try again. Okay? So let me go ahead and get to it. This month is Domestic Violence Month. And a lot of people know domestic violence to be, physical. And people know about the other thing, the verbal and the emotional, financial, and all that stuff that society has put out there. And that's recent studies, recent, meaning in the past, few years, have came to the terms with calling it abuse and domestic violence. So let me kind of give you a little insight, because I didn't research this topic before talking about it like I wanted to, and God told me just get on there and do it and talk about it, and I didn't want to listen. I just kept on doing what I was doing. No, God, my hair, my nails, I gotta do research, gotta get more knowledge on the topic. No, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just talk about my experience without having to put all of the numbers and the research in it. And maybe I'll do a follow-up video kind of explaining that. But I kind of want to just go on the record of saying that domestic violence is anything that does not serve you, anything that hurts you. When I first got involved with, I'm not gonna say his name. When I first got involved with this fella, I wanted to save him because of the type of heart that I have, and just, people know me, my personality, just who I am as a person. I thought that I could help him. I thought I could save him. He wheeled me in first with telling me a whole lot of things that he had been through with childhood and with friends and with his first baby mom, and just a lot of things that he had been through in life. And that is how he got me. He wheeled me in to feel sympathy, for him and his situation. So it went from there. It happened so fast. With me getting pregnant, and and so I didn't really get a chance to kind of analyze the situation. Before I knew it, 3 months later, I was pregnant with our child. The first abuse encounter was, I probably was about, not to mention he had been lying the entire time, telling me that he wasn't with anyone, he wasn't seeing anyone, and he had a whole live-in girlfriend. So he was literally living with me and living with her at the same time. How do you do that? Don't know. But he did that. Okay, he made it work for himself. So, and this is even while pregnant with our son. So, the first encounter was, I was a very confident person. Anyone would tell you that I wasn't high and sedity bougie or anything, but I knew what I wanted out of this world, out of this life. I knew what type of person I wanted to be. I knew what type of partner I wanted to marry. I just knew, kind of what I wanted to do. I was very confident in everything that I tried. I figured if I failed at anything, then I would keep trying until I succeeded. It just was who cares was. And I was the type of person to motivate people and to uplift them and to let them know, like, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Keep going, regardless of what you've been through. Blah 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 blah. And so I never would have thought that this would have happened to me, because I've seen it happening to a lot of friends, a lot of family members, but it could never happen to someone so confident like myself. So he told me that I was fat. Remind you, I'm pregnant with our child, okay? So he told me that I was fat and that I was stupid, I was dumb, I was all of this stuff. He then went on to say that I was cheating on him, and that, um, that I was messing around with his friends, and he started accusing me of doing these things and accusing me of being who I knew I wasn't. But see, the thing about abuse is, the more you hear something, you eventually start to believe it. Even though you know in your heart and in your soul that that it's not true, you'll start to kind of question it. Like, I'm hearing it so much. Like, am I? Like, did I do this? Did I do that? Like, did this happen? And so that's the point where I was at, starting to question like myself and my characteristics, everything that has made me who I am today. I started to question it, and it was because of, him telling me that I was these things, him continually every day, calling me names and saying these things and putting it in my head to make me, like, kind of like a trick, like tricking me into believing that, I was this person that he was trying to say that I was. And so I didn't know it was abuse at first. I just kind of figured he was toxic, it was a thing going around, narcissism, like he's a narcissist, just, I never thought it was as serious as it was until things started happening in my life. It had gotten to a point where I became suicidal. Never once, thought about wanting to harm myself as much as I thought about it being with him. I'm like, the only way out of this is to just get, off myself. Like, I literally cannot get through this and get away from him, because it's hurting so bad. Like, every day, it would be to the point where I would wake up to him yelling, arguing, accusing me, calling me names, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. He's drunk still from the night before. He's still drinking. And it's not like he's just drunk and he slept it off. No, like, he's 4 o'clock in the morning still up drinking from the night before, while I'm trying to obviously rest, with our now, newborn child or 1-year-old son, and I'm still trying to sleep. So he's up at 4, screaming, yelling, accusing me of things, going through my phone, invading my privacy. That's called invading privacy, going through my phone and reading me and my homegirls' conversations, personal, very personal things that they would tell me, in these text messages. He would read it. It had gotten to the point where I started having to delete it because he was throwing that in my face. Like, oh, I read that text message and your friend talking about she cheated on her man. Like, I know you out there whoring just like her. I mean, like, I had no privacy. I had no sleep. Not only was he doing all of this, but he couldn't keep a job or hold a job, where he couldn't support and provide for me and his son. And so it went from, me working hard, grinding, getting my son into childcare, even though we all know, single mothers, how hard that is. And just trying to still maintain life, trying to find a job, and working hard to get apartment after apartment, car after car. He was damaging my cars. I'd be sleeping at night. He would take my car in the middle of me being asleep, go find my keys. I would have to hide my keys, go find my keys and, drive somewhere drunk, putting not only himself at risk, but others on the road at risk. Got me kicked out of a few places with the yelling and the screaming and, all outside, with it. Neighbors started to complain and I would, go back to the office and tell them, which I don't blame them. I would too, if I was them. So, just, nonsense, taking pictures everywhere I went. I had to take pictures of where I would go, who I was with. Yeah. 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 Um, so that was the verbal and mental, telling me that I was a white girl. I would cry or I would talk, a different way. He's not, he didn't grow up how I grew up, obviously. And so if I wanted to say certain words or just talk how I would talk, it was almost like I had to dumb myself down. Like I couldn't say this word. I couldn't talk about stuff that I wanted to talk about. Like I'm a very intellectual person, and so I like speaking about stuff that kind of like help me to hear other people's perspective. Stuff I like to read. I like to kind of read about it and talk to somebody about what I read about. And because he dropped out of high school and he did not know how to read, he would make me feel like, oh, you just a white girl, why you talking like that, why you saying that word, you could have just said this word instead, but you say that big ass word. That's stupid, that's dumb, you dumb for that. Like would literally call me dumb for being smart, and so that is mental. Okay. When you have to dumb yourself down to accommodate someone else's intellectual needs, that is abuse. It's abuse. The verbal, calling me names, making me feel like I was something that I wasn't, verbal, emotional, calling me a crybaby when I would express myself, when I would finally get the confidence to say, this isn't okay. Like, this isn't right. You shouldn't be talking to me this way, or you shouldn't be making me feel this way. Like, you are wrong, for cheating on me and, having females in our home while I'm at work trying to provide for us, certain stuff like that. Oh, I cheated because you never give me none. You never show me any love. You never act like you care about me. And so that's why I did that. I did that because of you. You did this to us. You made me do it. And really, really crying, okay, y'all? Really crying. And it might sound crazy to you. It might sound like, oh, she dumb, she stupid, she retarded. Now, remember what I said in the very beginning of this video. I'm one of those confident people. I will walk with my head high. Had everything planned out. I will wear the latest things. I'm very fashion, you know, very fashion like. I was the completely different person before I met him. I didn't even own a pair of sneakers, heels, making sure I had pedicures, manicures, hair done, all of that sort of thing. And so to make me feel like, I cheated on you because you look at you. Like, you don't want to get yourself up and do anything with yourself. You want to let yourself look like this and walk around with your hair flying all over your head and, with baggy shirts and pajama pants, But now, even understanding and realizing that that's how I was feeling, I didn't feel like, getting up and getting dressed. Or when I would get up and get dressed, it was oh, who you getting up and getting dressed for? Who you trying to impress? Are you going to work looking like that? Oh, because you got a man up there. That's what it is. You got a man up there. That's why, you want to get dressed and do your hair. Like, it couldn't be because I just wanted to get dressed and feel good about myself, or, make myself feel good. It was because I obviously, I had a man somewhere to look good, having plans with friends. And right before I'm about to walk out the door and have these plans and go to where I'm going, where I told him prior, days prior that I was going to, he would come up with a fight, pick a reason to argue and make me late to where I'm going, or make me feel guilty or bad that I was even going to where I was going. So then, friends would be upset. Cares, you're a flake. That's why I don't invite you nowhere. You never show up, not even understanding or knowing that I was on my way there, or I was getting dressed to go. And, he would come in, oh, you can't, you look at you. He would never tell me I couldn't go, because he knew I wouldn't fall, I wouldn't go for that. But he would just make me feel like if I went, I was a bad person, a bad girlfriend, or I was cheating. I was doing something wrong for doing anything outside of him. Isolation, abuse, guys. So this is my story, and I just want to let y'all know that if I've named any of these things, it is abuse. You need to run. You need to get somewhere safe. You need to have people around you that care about you and support you, the people who know you before that, because having this will make you forget who you are as a person. So I'm just saying, domestic violence week, awareness. Just because he don't hit you don't mean that it's not abuse, okay? And be safe out there.